Sarah was a middle-aged woman whose children had moved to their own homes, leaving her alone in a small house at the edge of the village. The once beautiful garden around her home had faded, flowers had withered, the soil was dry, and the trees looked tired. Every morning, she would step outside with her cane, sprinkle water from a broken pot, and whisper that one day the garden would bloom again. The neighbors would shake their heads and say that nothing grows there anymore, but Sarah never stopped believing in small miracles. One rainy evening, as she was closing her door, she heard a soft cry near the gate and found a tiny puppy, soaked and shivering, barely breathing under a bush. She picked him up gently, wrapped him in her shawl, dried his fur, and gave him some warm milk, smiling and saying that no one stays hungry at her doorstep. She named him Bublu and watched him grow day by day into a strong, loyal dog who followed her everywhere and slept beside her whenever she rested. Months later, Sarah laughed for the first time in years and noticed tiny green sprouts appearing in the soil, soon followed by vegetables like spinach, tomatoes, and bright red chilies, and even the old mango tree dropped a golden mango at her feet. The villagers were amazed and asked how it was possible, but Sarah only said that love brings life back even to old soil. People began visiting for vegetables and fruits, and she never sold them, only filling bags and saying take what you need and leave some for others, while Bublu proudly sat beside her. Not everyone was kind, and one man laughed at her, saying she was wasting food that could have made her rich, but Sarah calmly said that she became rich the moment she stopped being alone, and Bublu seemed to understand as he jumped into her lap. Years passed, Sarah grew older, her knees ached and her voice softened, but her spirit remained strong, and every morning Bublu walked beside her while children from the village gathered in the evenings to hear her stories, and she would say that the garden was never hers, it was a gift she learned to care for. One morning, Sarah did not come out, and the villagers found her resting peacefully in her chair, smiling with a flower in her hand and Bublu curled up beside her. She had gone quietly and gently, but the garden did not stop growing and bloomed brighter than ever, with Bublu watching over the soil, the children, and the trees. Some say they still see a dog by Sarah's chair at sunset and that the soil listens to his footsteps, and everyone agrees that the garden withered, but kindness never does. If you want to see small miracles and joy in your life, start sharing love, help, and kindness with others today, because even a smile, a gentle act, or a small gesture is never too little, and when you give love, life becomes beautiful on its own.